back to my channel. I believe you've seen a video or two on the sleeves we have been working on and talking about, and oh, I've had some fantastic reviews. Thank you to everyone that has given me thumbs up, that has sent DMs and have been appreciative. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we want to do more. It's good if you practice. And for those who have watched but you haven't practiced, let me tell you the truth about sewing is the more you do, the more you know. It's not just about you seeing something, liking it, you seeing it, saying it's lovely. It's about you doing it every day. For someone like me who's been sewing for over 20 years, so I'll still tell you that practicing is still the best teacher. Do it over and over and do it in different ways. Don't just do it in the way you have been taught. Devise other means. Do it in other ways or other styles. Be creative, be innovative. I mean, put your own ideas in it, and this is going to really help you in your journey as a fashion designer. So we're going to the third, I think this should be the third sleeve if I'm right. Yes, I think I'm right. This is a number 3 sleeve, of course, very close to the one we're doing. Remember, this is focused on power sleeves. We're talking about the sleeves you will wear and you enter a place and people will notice you. If you know that song by Two Face, then that's Enter the Place. That's the kind of sleeve we're working on. So let's go. One pointy tip like the second one we did, almost close to the last one, but it comes with another difference. So we are going to be practicing, we're going to be building a new bodice for this one. I would have used the old bodice, but for the sake of those who didn't join us for that video, I don't want to get anyone confused. So let's work with a new bodice. I told in one of the videos that I don't always build my patterns on centerfold because there's no point wasting your papers. Maximize whatever resources you have. And if I have my pattern on half, I only write CF on it, or I do 3 circles, and 3 circles indicates to me that this is the centerfold. So when I'm cutting it on my paper, I technically know I have to fold the fabric. So it's better you don't always cut the paper on centerfold, please, except you're cutting asymmetrical. And asymmetrical means when you open the pattern, the 2 halves are not the same. That means what you have on this side is not what you have on this side. That is the only time you ever see me cutting my patterns on a fold. Otherwise, leave your patterns on the plain paper, except you prefer it either way, but it works for me that way. Or when I'm cutting the bias. When I'm working on the bias pattern, I cut my pattern on center fold because I have to open and lay it on the crosswise grain of the fabric. Do we get it? Okay, let's go. I'm using just a length of 16 is fine for my sample. I'm not going to be adding any allowance to it. Remember, it is a sample. And I've told you, work on your samples first. See how it will turn out. It's called prototypes. You see, in the fashion industry, it's always the best thing is have a prototype. See what the garment will look like when you're done. Don't just jump on the fabric. So we have the shoulder I'm working on is 15. I'm going to be using 7.5. I do not use seam allowance on my shoulder lines. It's a personal thing. If you use seam allowance on yours, it's fine. I do not use on mine. It gives me a better fit. When I use seam allowance, people that use seam allowance on it, I've tried it before. I did not like the fit on the shoulder, so I do not use it. Then the armhole depth I'm using for this person is 7. If you do not know how to measure the armhole depth, there's a link on the comment section. I'll probably drop the link there on how to take measurements for people and to take for yourself as well. And the bust of this person is 35.5. So divided by 4, you take a calculator. If you're not very good at mathematics, I am not a professional at mathematics as well. So just calculate. We have 8.875. 8.875 is going to be giving us something like this. Let me show this to you. This is going to be like this. This is 8.5, this is 8.75, then it's going to be 8.875. That's the last very close line to 9. Yes, I'm going to be using just 1 inch seam allowance here. If I've mentioned before, in ready to wear, you don't use too much seam allowance because you don't want to have too much bulk. 1/2 inch could be okay, or 0.75. Professionally, 1/2 inch is what they use to make ready to wear. But for bespoke, I use 1 inch or 1.5 because of amendments and fittings. And when your client is done with their fittings, I can weave it out. But some clients will tell you, leave it there. But see, we may want to amend next year and we gain weight. If you sew for women, you understand what I'm saying better. This waist is 29, 7.25 divided by 4. So I have this. I have the 1 inch dart here, and I have the 1 inch seam allowance. The seam allowance is constant. Then you connect the waist to the armhole depth. That's it. That's the armhole depth. If you're not sure about it, be sure it aligns with this place. The bust placement, the dot placement for this person is 3.5. So I'm going to be having my dots on a 3, then a 4. That's a 1-inch dot. It comes to 3.5 is the middle point here. The person's bust point is 9. My dot is going to stop an inch under the bust point. Your dot must never, ever climb the bust point, except you're having a style line. That's how to sew. If you have your dots coming over here, you're doing something really wrong, honestly. If you haven't been in any of my classes, maybe you should join the one-on-one class to know more. And by now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe right now. Just a click, just a click away. And also, use this chance to just click a like in the top data. Okay, let's do it. Ta-da! The neckline, I'll stick to 2.75 by 4. Line measurement, 2.75 by 4. You know, usually we have, we drop this by 1 inch. I slant my shoulder, but we're doing it differently with this sleeve we're doing. Now, this time around, what we're doing is we are going to bring the shoulder in. We want the sleeve to come in, to be pointy and sit on the shoulder. We are creating this point, the power of this sleeve is going to be on the shoulder. I like this one more because it doesn't really pop out as much as the other ones, but it pops out right from your shoulder line. So you determine whatever you want from the neckline to here. Let me say you want to use 2, you want to use 3. Let's use 2.75, which is fair enough, or 3. What do we have here? We have 5. Okay, let me use 3. I'll use 3 from the neckline. I'll mark my 3. You can use whatever. You can use more. You can use 2.5 if you want it to be really popped in, to really go inside. So whatever you want to use, then you're going to connect this back to the armhole. So whatever you have here, remember we're always having this mark. This is our armhole notch. So maybe you calculate, let's have it on 4. I'm going to have it on 4. Then you're going to have, next thing is have a straight line from here to here. It just cuts in straight. Or you can drop this down. Let's drop it down a little bit so it can blend in better. I think it blends in better this way. Then I calculate my armhole notch. This is going to be less than 4. If you look at it very well. Yeah, this is about 3.75. That's about 3.75 for our armhole notch. So this comes from here to here. This is our cutout. This is not totally cut out because we still need this to join to our sleeve construction. Let's just take it one step at a time. After drafting this is all you need. So let me draw with the red line. So you know this is the regular line. And the new one here, we have a 3.5 here. From here, from the armhole, we measured it up here. Then I have this. I picked any point of my choice. I picked 2.5 from my neckline. You can pick 3. You can pick anything you want. I just slanted it here. So this is what I'm working with. This is the line I'm working with. This line from here to here. This, we're going to cut it out and we're going to leave it there because we're going to use this to construct another thing that we're adding to the sleeve. That's about it. The same thing applies to the back. You probably have the same thing like I said in the other video. Just change the neckline to like by 1 or what works for you. I'm used to using 1, and that is this for this. Your dart construction is easy. We just pick the darts the way we want it picked. If you want to use the French dart or the other darts, go ahead. Have a class on darts. But it's in the private class, it's not in the general class yet. It may come on the video on the YouTube class, free class soon. We can never tell. I'm not going to be cutting this neckline because I can change the neckline when I'm making my clothes. So when we cut this out, don't forget that's the armhole notch. This is our shoulder line. I will be using this piece of paper to create this out. Okay, this is here. I'll try to probably put a mark on, this is the armhole part and this is the bodice part. So I have an A and a B here, so I do not mix it up. Otherwise, you're going to get it mixed up easily. So I can have the same length on the paper when I'm done. Okay. We're creating a new measurement now. So to create a new measurement is the sleeve. You're going to have, this is 5 inches. So I probably want to have it to come to 7.5. To create the point. Or anyhow, you can use your free hand or your, we call ancestral knowledge in sewing. Like I'm just going to be using what comes to my head. So you take it off from here up to that place. I'm really using red so you can have it clear. The sleeve, like a curve out to here. This comes here, so this can actually go to meet it. Then try to trace. Don't move. You can sellotape this together. I don't want to sellotape this because I don't want to go through the stress of. We create this. You see that? It stops here. Then just use this to create this. So this is the new addition for the front sleeve. It's going to be 2. So we're going to have 2 of this. So we have measurement 1. This one adds to the front sleeve. Then the other one adds to the back sleeve. Remember, you drafted this first. Then you put your paper under. You cut this out. You bring this back. You redraft it. Or you can use a full paper from the beginning like we did the other time. I'm not trying to teach to go through different ways of getting this done. So you don't think, oh, I'm already confused. I can't get it. No, you can. You can use your basic bodice to draft it. Then you draft that up, you create this, then you create the removable parts where you can get this piece out. This is one is for the sleeve, this is the front. Then of course you have one for the back. So to remember, you can just, this part goes here. So this doesn't have to, this won't even give you any issues or questions. You're going to get this easily. So we're going to be cutting 2 of this. This is going to be joined here. So you can mark it like 2 notches. So you remember this and this are going to be joining here. And this part goes to the shoulder line. So I'll cut this out for keeps so I don't forget. I'll be leaving a slight seam allowance around it, just in case. Like I always say, it's safer to have it more than have it less. To construct the sleeve, what you're going to do is these calculations. You're going to measure what you have from here to here. I have like 9. Then remember, this comes here. So you have an extension. This is still going up, pointing up like this. So you're going to measure this as well. 4. It was what we had earlier, 9. So we have 13. Now we're going to draw our sleeves the way we drew it the last time on the other sleeve, the second sleeve, second power sleeve. So for the length of the sleeve, I'm going to be doing 10. You're going to have your, remember you have 8.5. So instead of having your sleeve just drawn like this, no, what you're going to have is from here, you can, if possible, let's say you have your straight line first, then you pencil your sleeve in. For this kind of sleeve, you really need them penciled. Or you can have them rounded, the drum shaped sleeve. It will come out good as well. Yeah. The drum shaped sleeves will work well. So you're going to have your, now you want to have the 9. Remember we have a 9. Then you can just use your hand to construct it. Maybe you go this way, depending on you. So I'll be doing this. You have the 9, then you have the 14. So you drop the 9 first. It will not look as curved as this. It has to come all the way up. 9. And I'm going to have my 4. So your sleeve is going to look like this. Then from here, you have it looking this way. If it's too long, trim it down. 13. Exactly what we are looking for. So this is your normal sleeve, just like that, but you want to extend the shape If the sleeve goes with this way, you don't have it looking as pointy as this. So it all varies. It depends on you or what you're cutting. And I hope this is clear. Let me go through this again for the second time. After you cut this out, you measure what you have here. Then you measure the extension you have from here up to here. That's what makes the sleeve for you. It also has to be pointed. Has to be pointed. So this is our pattern for the sleeve. And this is going to be CF, center fold. I'm going to be folding this part as well. So I have 1, I have 2, and I have 3 for my templates. You have the bodice, you have the extended sleeve cap, then you have the sleeve itself. And when you cut on fabric, I will advise you use interfacing, or what we call stay, for this part. And if possible, the half part of your sleeve. It gives it some good structure. If you don't use it, except your fabric is very stiff or a little bit hard, you will not see the effect. But the fabric is not so thick, please use interface, and any kind of stay will do to give you that structure you're looking for. So now I'm going to be cutting and sewing and showing you my results.